I have made 2 videos on my experience with contingency contract. So let's make a new one. So usually when I do CC, I do them blind run. By blind run, I mean I accidentally watch a CC video one time and also use meta operators to help me cheese the game. So yeah, to the very least, I kinda know what the map looks like, but I don't know much about the enemies that will appear. But this time, I'm doing something a bit different. I'm going to do a pure blind run this time. I did not look at other clears at all. I have no idea what enemies I'll be facing. Well, actually not really. I just assume it's going to be the crocodiles because CCPP screams Sargon most of the time, so I know I'll be facing the crocodiles, and I do them based on my ability alone. For this run, I'm trying to not use any of the broken operators. I can still use 6 stars, but no Surtur, Silver Ash, Ayafyala, Chowder, and Calcid, which are operators that seemingly very popular in CC and them alone usually enough to clear every CC available. And like I usually do, I'm going to brute force it, meaning I won't clear lower risk or the mission to get the new risk. The first risk unlock are the only risk that I can use to risk 18. Since I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing, I am a little bit scared to do this. I'm using this team for the first risk starting clear. Yes, from here I think you can see how clueless I am with this map. Thorns, Passengers, Sculptor, Saria, Nightingale, Broca, Spectre, Ceylon, Texas, and Myrtle. Yeah, I know I'm using Thorn since he is categorized as broken, but in my defense, he got relatively long cooldown and is very single target oriented. Even though Calcid is basically that, she has way shorter cooldown and Monter is very broken. So yeah, that's my defense. Now for my first try, it's an immediate fail. Disappointed, but not surprised. I realized that enemies came in groups. The first wave already bring a lot of enemies and right sandstorm makes the deployment position to be very limiting. I actually give it a few tries before I decide to reduce the risk to make this easier. Well, there goes my easier option possibilities. I eventually clear it after 20 minutes of retrying. Now it's time for the main course, Risk 18. Seeing how hard the risk level already is already giving me a lot of creeps to do risk 18. But of course, I have to keep going in order to get all the tokens and for making content. Now, it'll be much easier if I clear this and allow myself to use the broken operators. But yeah, I just can't do it because I don't want to. And I want to challenge myself, aka wasting my time, aka torture my mental health, aka reduce my sanity level. But just to give you some perspective how long it took me to clear risk 18, it took me almost over 3.5 hours with constant fails. Usually it only took me 30 to 50 minutes to clear risk 18, but since I refused to use the brokens, it took me longer than what I needed it to be. But yeah, first attempt I used this team, just add Shiny for defense, but obviously it didn't work. I can't even deploy her early, which makes me have to redo the whole team. Now, since it's over 3 hours of pre-recorded footages, I'm just going to save you guys some time, but this is the team that I came up with. Swartz, Passenger, Matrock, Angelina, Nightingale, Suzerain, Ceylon, Spectre, Elysium, second skill, level 1 Waifu, second skill, Myrtle, and lastly, support Bagpipe. Now, I know I bring Chen, the OG Chen in here, but the reason why I did not mention her, there's a lot of reasons. One, I changed her slot a lot. First, I tried to use Blaze and it didn't work. Second, I tried to use Manticore to stall the big crocodile and it didn't work as well. I tried using Shining again, but the stupid crocodile fanatic is decreasing Matrock's defense, so she is useless. And finally, I tried using Grateful to bait the crocodile casters, but I ended up never use her anyway because I used the deployment limitation. Now, the second reason I did not mention her is because she is useless. I found out how useless she is at the end of the stage, but I'll tell you more in detail why later in the video. Now, I also need to address why I use Passenger, Ceylon, Elysium second skill, and probably the most questionable out of all, Waifu. Now, some of you might hear that Passenger performs very well in this stage, and I can assure you that statement is true. He got pretty impressive damage and the slow can be very useful to stall before Angelina can use her skill again. Ceylon just to substitute Nightingale for a while because Nightingale's skill ends when I still need it, and I also want to use Ceylon in every CC stage. Shush. Elysium's second skill to stall and shred big crocodile's defense, and finally the most questionable out of all, Waifu. Do you know that you can silence the fanatic crocodile? When you silence it, the enemy cannot decrease your defense. While the silence duration is short, it is still better than nothing just to make Matrock survive a bit longer. I know what you're thinking, why not Lapland instead? First of all, I can't. I still need passenger slow and damage, and Angelina can slow down enemies only when her skill is active. Secondly, Lapland can only silence one enemy, and the Fanatics usually come in two, so it kinda made her useless anyway since her damage is not that great. Now here is the suffering part. The stage itself, it's not that hard, but I need a lot of observation to clear it. Since I don't use any broken operators to help me with this stage, it's much harder for me to clear it, especially I'm using, let's say, rather unorthodox way to clear it, to say the least. I mean, why use Angelina when you can use Chalder or to the very least, Eyjafjalla's second skill? I failed again, and again, and again, and again, and again, from failing to retrying, do the same strategy, do the same mistake, and repeat. It's a circle of life. Madrox's part is also quite RNG reliant since her skill has a chance to stun down enemies. It's also quite funny because I'm recording all these footages in the morning where in my planning list, I started recording at 6:30 and I have to finish recording by at least 9 AM, but my target is 8:30. And then cook for breakfast, continue to do some assignments before deadline, which is by nighttime, and at 10 start prepare to go to college. And it turns out, I finished recording at 10 AM, which makes me really pissed at myself and almost went insane. I spent over 3.5 hours on it, and when I look at it again, this stage is not even meant to be hard to begin with. By the time I'm recording, I remember I also start losing it. Like, I occasionally screams because of Madrox's stun RNG, my bad timing, and Elysium dying. I really want to change Angelina to Eyjafjalla by this point because I just cannot clear it. I want to clear it so badly, but my masochist barrier say, no, you have to clear it with this team, which makes me have to spend more time just to make content. I think I bother my neighbors a lot by this point, considering that I live in an apartment and my neighbors are pretty much really close to my apartment door, so yeah, I'm really sorry. Now this is nowhere near my suffering. No. The thing is, I thought I can finish this by 8 because here is the most heartbreaking part. I just don't know how to describe it, so I'm just going to show it to you here. Yeah, really painful, isn't it? I thought I can clear it after like 2 or 3 retries, but it turns out it's way longer because of like what I just mentioned, bad RNG and bad timing. And even if I did make it, I still lose anyway. It's like it's so close, yet so far away. We're nearing end of this video because I am just so sad to talk about this all over again. Especially I have a very bad day after all that stupid catastrophe. Basically, I arrived at college late and I have insufficient bus funds, which makes me really upset. But anyway, my final attempt, I did everything the same. I turned the speed down, and finally, this is why Chen makes me really upset. What? I raised it to level 90 Mastery 3. How can you not do a simple job? But anyway, I was so thrown off because her skill cannot even kill one caster. I mean, she eventually did, but at what cost? The sand walls are already destroyed and I should have lost by this point. But of course, I do not want to repeat all that over again, so I am persistent and start deploy stalling that stupid crocodile caster. Chad's skill did not even do much damage to the caster, and it seriously made me really pissed, and I was really losing it. But yeah, I was so persistent, and I keep stalling the crocodile, let Ceylon and Nightingale heal, wait until Swartz is ready again, and I finally finished it. Finally, I finished the stage. But at what cost? It was unnecessarily long, and I do not recommend you to use Chen in this stage. I don't care what you say, even if you clear it with her somehow, I don't give a shit. Unless it's shelter, then it's fine. But the OG Chen is a big no. She sucks really bad in this stage. Yeah, I know all of you guys might be laughing because you guys can clear it with pretty much less than operators that I use. But in my defense, I'm not using any of the delete buttons. But yeah, I finally finished Contingency Contract 6 Wild Skills because the amount of contribution that waifu gave to keep Madrock alive, she deserves the Itsu. She really deserves it. I know I won't be using her much anyway, but this is the best that I can do for her as my gratitude for her hard work. It was an insane journey. Insane RNG, insane bad timing, insane bullcraps, and insane casters. Thank you to every single one of you. I couldn't have done it without you. Except you. Honestly, I don't really want to add subtitles because this video already took me way too long to make. And just watching everything when I edit it, it just brings a lot of bad memories. But since I love you guys, so yeah, I'm just gonna keep adding the subtitles. And I also want to make my videos as good quality as I possibly can. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. This video took a really long time for me to make because I have to make a lot of the icons, and also let's just say I have plenty of college assignments that I have to finish as well. So yeah, it is definitely quite something that honestly I'm quite proud of making, because at least for this video I did not late like my last CC experience video, and I also happy with how it turned out. And I also hope that this video also brings you guys some laughs and yeah, maybe it brings you guys a little bit of a memory of how hard this CC is, or maybe it's easy it is so you guys can make fun of me or maybe something like that. But yeah, I really do hope you guys enjoyed this video, and please share it if you can because this video took a very long time for me to make, and I'm really happy with how it turns out. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Stay happy and stay healthy. Bless you all. Bye.